Shalom and welcome back. Alright, we're going over the first grade standards again. In the last video we went through all the language arts. Now we're going to be hitting the math. Yeah, will indeed. Pray this video finds you all well. And let's jump right into it. Okay, so going further on the first grade standards. This is where we kind of start with our math. Now again, there should be a basis already. If you take a look at the math playlist, that's kind of like introduction math for pre-K and kindergarten. And yeah, willing, maybe what I'll do is as math kind of keeps on going and the different subjects keep on going, I'll still add them to the subject playlist, so that way if you all want to focus on a specific subject, you can do that. Before math, again, we start with the adding and subtracting, scratch garden. I know one of my little ones doesn't like the talking circle. So again, please look at all these videos, and I'll be looking over them. I do look over them, from time to time, just in case I may miss something that may not align up with my heritage. But if it lines up with your heritage and it lines with your core values, then please continue, to view it. That being said, this is, adding and subtracting. Again, adding and subtracting, showing the relationship between the two. Then again, here's how to add. Here's how you think about subtraction. Again, showing the relationship between the two. And then here are quizzes. Now, I know it doesn't seem like, wow, it's only, 4 videos about adding and subtracting. This is where what do you have it? The green dot method comes into play. This is huge. We did a little mock video about the green dot method. And what I may do is do a little tutorial about the green dot method, just to kind of get it understood, if that makes sense, so that way you all have some more practice things to go through. But again, the math playlist has kind of the beginning of counting your numbers, thinking about different place values, the beginning of adding, the beginning of subtracting. And then, of course, you have the videos, even the shorts that were already done on this channel, all praise you, about the green dot method. That's what's going to make this huge. So, like, for instance, 4 plus 3 plus 6. But with the green dot method, you don't have to get 4 pieces of fruit, 3 pieces of fruit and 6 pieces of fruit. The dots tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There you go. If you're talking about subtraction, let me see if we can, if I have one that's already available. All right, right here. You start with 6 dots. I call it the countdown method. Instead of having a number line, when you say you start at the bigger number and then you count down. Well, instead of always drawing a number line, the green dot method. You have 6 dots. Take 2 dots away, or cover up 2 dots. How many dots do you have left? 4. You can either do, again, the countdown. That's the cover up method. The countdown method, 6, 5, 4. Boom. 4. For addition, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Green dot method. For subtraction, countdown method. You start with 6 dots. Take 2 away. 6, 5, 4. Boom. Or if your child is visual, you can do the cover up, so long as this one is bigger. Have 6 dots, cover up 2. How many dots do you have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why I say during the green dot method, if you look at the videos for the shorts, it is important to remember where the dots are. It's easy to know how many dots each number has because they have that amount of number. You know that 2 will always have 2 dots. You know that 6 will always have 6 dots. 0 will have 0 dots, and 1 will have 1 dot. So in the case for here, okay, 10 dots. Take 6 away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Boom. That's where you do the countdown method for double digits. Here, for adding, this is, when it becomes 2-digit numbers for both adding and subtracting, that's where the green dot method really does shine. All right, You have 9 dots, you have 7 dots, you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 6. Boom, put the 1 over here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. There you go. Stuff like that. That way, you were not drawing lines, and not that the number line isn't good. Please do not misunderstand me. The number line is excellent in terms of visualizing where the numbers are and to begin to introduce negatives, because I think negative numbers, it's good to see them on the number line now. So that way, when they appear later on, you're not like, wait, there's a whole other half of the number line that I didn't even know. What's going on? Ah! Nothing like that. I think that's extremely important to do now. And pardon my nose, my apologies. But okie dokie. Let us continue on. Actually, let me pause this just for a moment. I get some tissue. Okay. So moving on. As you can see now here are some math quizzes. Now these math quizzes here, what I like to do is I will pause it, and we'll do the green dot method, just kind of like how we saw a few moments ago when I was doing the green dot method with you all, just with the numbers here. I will pause the video and do the green dot method with the children here. So even if it's double the digits, once you have the green dot method, it makes it easier when they write it, like, where'd it go? On top and bottom, but it can still be done here. 9 has 9 dots, 1 has 1 dot, it's 10. Put a 0, boom, 1 over there. 5, 4, that's 9, 10, boom, put a 0, put a 1 over here, boom, that's your answer. See, stuff like that. Now, I know you may be saying, wait, this is double digits, but you explained double digits here. This is review. So for kindergarten and preschool, both single digit and double digit math is introduced. And along with regrouping, as you can see what I was doing, that was regrouping there. That was all introduced in kindergarten. That was all introduced in kindergarten pre-K. So the videos in the math playlist reflect that. Now I would say, yeah, William, this is kind of why on this household we're going very slowly, through kindergarten. It is important to have those bases down. It is important to be able to write your letters. Not just write your letters, you need to be able to write a sentence. According to DK 12 standards, you need to be able to write a sentence, so that way you can learn what different types of sentences in first grade. You need to be able to read, so that way in first grade you can add more to your vocabulary. You need to be able to know how to write your numbers, and even have basis of mathematics and addition and subtraction down. So that way we can get into higher numbers. First grade isn't where you learn the basis. First grade is where you start to build up from that foundation. So those earlier playlists are extremely important. Moving on. Again, double digit addition. And here's another little math quiz for double digit addition. This double digit addition for kids from homeschool pop is already in the math playlist for kindergarten and pre-K. What makes, again, all praise to you, that green dot method makes it so more, for me, just maybe just because I'm a visual person, more easy to understand than the number line. It makes it more transferable. That way, when you're in first grade or second grade or third grade, you're still not drawing a number line. You're just moving on, adding and subtracting and what have you. All right, so here's some more quizzes, and this one explains again the relationship between addition and subtraction. They need to know that they are opposites, just like they know opposite words. They need to know that addition and subtraction are opposites, because they're going to start to get into word problems or number sentences, and then missing addends, aka starting to build the foundation of algebra. Yes, DK12 starts to build the foundation of algebra here. And it's not, you know, kind of scratching your head like, what? It's just to let you know 6 plus what? So you have 6, 7, 8. You know it's 8. 6 plus what equals 8? You have to know that this can be reversed by using subtraction. So explaining, well, where is it? There's explaining the relationship between addition and subtraction is extremely important. I think there's another one that just kind of does it right there for you. Yeah, this one. See, you can see it here. And I believe Scratch Garden will go, yes, Scratch Garden will go through that relationship as well. So kind of reinforcing that over and over and over again. And this playlist isn't just played one time. That video, yeah, will isn't just played one time. Definitely keep it on loop. Of course, making sure that you meditate on the word of the Most High. And they keep this on loop throughout the year. That way, again, it's gonna get stuck in their head. And I would definitely encourage, let them sit down. Of course, there's a time to sit and there's a time to play. That being said, what I have found at least helpful for my children, not they have structure. Please do not. I think they don't have structure. But having hands-on toys is extremely important, and then letting them kind of be able to get up and move around is extremely important. That being said, they also have to learn there's still a time to specifically sit down and do your work. But I will say this: when there's that hands-on learning, it makes sitting down, for me, a lot easier, because they just, oh, okay, can I have my workbook now? I left my pencil. And then they just sit down and start, writing or what have you. So that makes it very helpful. I know when it's structured worksheets, their sit down time, I can kind of clock it to like about, okay, their average sit down time is this amount of time, and then they'll be getting like, gotta get up, Which, I mean, it's not too bad for kindergartners. So I'm like, okay, no worries. That'll work out. Well, we can build from there. Anywho, word problems. So these videos kind of go off of word problems, what words you're looking for. Again, you can't do word problems for math if you cannot read. This is why the Let's Learn to Read playlist, all praise to Yahuwah, and the foundation of language arts playlist, you'll see language arts, the language arts playlist are so important, because you have to be able to read. Even if you can count numbers, if you can't read, then you can't read the instructions on the worksheets that are given to you, and you would need someone to read it for you all the time. Now, there are some things that are intuitive. There are some things that you can kind of figure out just from the pictures. But you do need to be able to know how to read. So I know, again, on this side, we're taking things slow till you can read on your own and understand what you are reading, that comprehension. We cannot move on, because you need to be able to know how to read. And not to make it sound like, the children are not well educated in terms of, any child. That being said, it is extremely important. No, let's just take our time. I'm not trying to make you feel, less than or what have you. And I don't kind of bring this up. I just say, all right, let's learn to read. Let's learn to read. Let's learn to read. Let's learn to read. Or not, I don't say let's learn to read. I'm saying, okay, can you read this or can you read that? That's where kind of like throughout daily life, from the small things to the big things, reading, working on that reading is important, because you'll be able to see throughout life where they're at. And that'll tell you whether or not, okay, they're ready for the next level. Again, this is a song about number sentences. Gotta have the songs in there. It just makes it more fun. Missing additives, again, getting this concept in there. Like, to think about that relationship We just went through number sentences. We just went through, the relationship between addition and subtraction. We just sang the song. So now, kind of introducing that into like small little bite-sized pieces, what that would look like. Again, moving on. Some more quizzes, because again, this is the math section. So, pop quiz. Oh. um, and here's another story problems. Gotta get these, so that way again, that learning how to read works hand in hand. I know people say, gotta learn how to do your math, ASAP. You gotta learn how to read before you can even know how to do math, because you gotta read the instructions so that way you know what you're doing. Hallelujah. All right, moving on to skip counting, aka 5 times table, 10 times table, 100 times table. But they call it skip counting now. I know some people still call times tables, but apparently skip counting is a thing. I didn't know that until DK12. Skip counting. I'm like, what? You mean the times tables? Oh, okay. But I guess what they're trying to say is